Virgo, I've been very surprised over the last couple of months to merge that you're addicted to what I believe to be substances. They might not be, but certainly not a healthy attachment that you've had. And last month, November, you appeared to have gone cold turkey. Has it worked? Well, I can see a very troubling sign in this month's December spread, as though you slipped back. I'm not sure. What I can say to you is that you were very brave indeed, bold, showed real courage and leadership in going cold turkey. Very much so, you know. And as a result of that, your world has changed. It has changed for the better, even though might not feel like that. And it's given you a sense of purpose, a sense of direction that you've not felt in a long while. And nevertheless, you're left feeling somewhat pessimistic. It's an emptiness. It's an emptiness. I know exactly what it is. It's a, you know, I mean, I'm not saying that you were addicted to opioids, but supposing you were, you know, and every day your day was shaped by getting enough money together to buy them, you know. Well, there's a void there, isn't there? Now, I'm not saying it was that dramatic, but there's still a void left in your life. There's a nothingness of saying, well, if this is what my life is going to be from now on, do I really want it this way? What would change things is you recognising small steps. Every day is a new day. Even if you do fall back, which I think you do, start again. Start all over. And I do think you fall back. I do. It could be that others have put you up to it, but well, it doesn't matter. Ultimately, you yourself are to blame, aren't you? But this is a card of sort of self-sabotage, the energy of self-sabotage as I read it. And it's going to leave you with a important decision to make in the future. A difficult decision to make. And I think there's a degree of danger in maybe one of the choices you could make, or maybe even a degree of danger in not making a decision. The world has changed beyond all recognition. You were, I'm pretty certain, addicted to a substance. I don't know what it was, but addicted to a substance. Or certainly some destructive behaviour. You went cold turkey and you're no longer doing it, so your world has completely changed. But the universe has spotted that, and it has completely changed your world for you. And it is bringing with it luck. So everything has changed for you. It's a new life. It's a new paradigm that you're in. And it takes a bit of getting used to that new paradigm. And, you know, it is going to be a struggle for you. And I think, you know, you are going to find it a struggle. But it's recognising that it's a completely different world to the world that you used to inhabit, yeah. Completely different world. Everything has changed for you. And you do need to sort of adjust to that and be the different person that is demanded from it. And what you did in sort of going cold turkey was extremely brave. It took a lot of courage to do that. It took self-determination. It took leadership of yourself. it was a somewhat conservative way of going about it, cold turkey. But at the end of the day, it's any scheme can only going to work if you're determined to see it happen. So why not cold turkey? But I do admire you for it. I really do admire you for it. It was an extremely brave thing to do. The world has given you an immense sense of purpose, a sense of direction, to a certain degree even a sense of urgency. You have your ducks in a line, you know where you're going and why you're going there and what you need to do to get there. And that must seem wonderful, but I'm aware that it probably isn't anything like as strong a sense of direction as that you're leaving behind. And I think that itself causes attention. Now, as I say, I don't know that you were addicted to opiates, but let's say you were. Then every day, it was about getting up and finding the money for them. And that sense of purpose has gone, even though you've got a new sense of purpose. Sense of purpose in beating this addiction. It's still difficult. It's still difficult. In the future, you've got a difficult decision to make. Now, I'm certain it's related to beating this addiction, but I'm not too certain what it is. I'll tell you what I suspect it is. And I suspect it's about moving away. Maybe moving away from friends, moving to maybe even a different city. But certainly moving away from those people who've influenced you in the past, moving away from the temptation. And I think that's the realisation that's happening during December. That you do need to push yourself away. That this change has to be a complete break. And you find it a very difficult one to make because it means moving away from family, possibly. Starting a life afresh. So it's very difficult. And I think there's a danger in it because, you could go to a new town and still find what you need there. Still find the same sort of crowd there, So I think there's a danger in it. There's also a danger in not taking a decision though. So it's not light. This is in the future though. The next energy is an energy of pessimism, a glass half empty energy. But I think in your context, it's more a sort of a nothingness. Very often when you're depressed, there is this sort of feeling of nothing. Feeling that nothing matters because everything's going to go against you. Feeling that there's no point in being excited about anything. And I think that's the sort of feeling that comes with having lost, you've had a reason for living. Maybe not a great reason for living, but you've lost that now. You've lost almost your species being, and you don't know who you are anymore. As I say, there's a potential decision. Do you have to move away even? So, it's this sort of numbness. This numbness of no highs and lows anymore. Now look, these things are one day at a time. Every day is a new day, and every day is better than the last. Every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. These are all the platitudes that you will experience. I've never been to one but an AA meeting. But they're all true, they're all true. And you have to see it in those terms. And that means that if you do have a bad day and you do slip up, don't repeat it the next day. Just go back to your sobriety. Keep saying to yourself, every day is a new day. Every day I'm getting better. Yeah. Now, the ending comes about as a result of your pessimism. So, yeah, my interpretation is right. I'll give you the standard interpretation of this, and then how I interpret it with this deck. Standard interpretation is that you're stabbed in the back and it causes an end to everything, a bitter ending. It's a betrayal. And there could be an element of that. But if you look at this, he looks like Icarus. Flew too close to the sun and his wings have melted. So it's suggesting to me that you are more responsible for what happens. What does happen? Well, almost certainly you slip, don't you? You go back onto using. As I say though, the solution is to just say, okay, that happened, let's get back on my 12th step or whatever it is. Well, you didn't do it that way, did you? You went cold turkey. Well, yeah, you might still be in AA, but get back onto your program, get back onto what you're doing. But yeah, you did it yourself, and you need to be responsible for yourself. This might be the realization you need to move away from others, or certainly certain places. But at the end of the day, it's down to you. It really is. And my heart's still going out to you. It really is, Virgo. Really is. I was really shocked. I mean, it was 2 months ago when I got the feeling that you were addicted to a substance, and then last month that you were going cold turkey. And excuse me for speaking as though it's an opioid addiction, because it could be anything. It could be anything. But I guess it's best illustrated in terms of an opioid addiction. So I'll speak in those terms if you don't mind. You were very brave going cold turkey, very brave. Your world has been turned upside down, and the universe has responded to this, and it is bringing you luck. You've now got a new sense of direction, a sense of purpose, but unfortunately, I don't think it's anything like the sense of direction and purpose that you used to have. And that, it's a little bit like depression, because there's the nothingness now of your life. The nothingness of what is there in my life now. Before, I mean, addiction can be a bit like being in the army. Your days are structured. You know what you're going to do and why you're going to do it. And that's been completely taken away from you now. And as a result of this sort of sense of nothingness, I think you do slip. You slip up. You go back to using, and you're probably hating yourself for it. And you are responsible, Maybe others were around you and encouraged you, but you alone are responsible, and you know that. You do know that. You've got an important decision to make in the future. And that is, do you move maybe away from the city you live in? Move away from these people. Move away from where you can get hold of what you used to be able to, well, what you're doing. And that might be harder said than done, Because I do see some dangers in you making this decision. I think there's more dangers in not, but there are dangers in you making that decision, and that decision's in the future. The real way to see this is like the 12-step program, that every day is a new day. Every day I'm getting better and better. Every day, today is a great day and tomorrow will be even better, You have to think in these terms to conquer this. And you can do it, But my heart goes out to you, it really does, Virgo.